Okay, first new Redesign video. We should show our credentials to prove that we're a true fan. Okay. So yeah, I discovered DJ4 when I was 8. My mom recorded episode 2 thinking I would like it. I didn't want to watch it because I was in my too mature for kids stuff edgy phase. But I was bored. At the time, YouTube on the TV wasn't a thing yet, and all my previous recording had been erased when we moved, so that was all I had. I looked at the screen. It looked at me. I looked at the screen. I put on the episode. I loved it. I found all of Season 1 on Dailymotion, so I watched all of it in one day on my Wii. Season 2 wasn't out in French yet, or at least not on TV, so I watched it on YouTube in English. I vaguely understood anything. YouTube started recommending me fandom videos. Lots of fandom videos. I was getting into it. Fast forward to 2016. I'm 12, and a reading of Cupcakes brings me to a site that is now defunct, but at the time was the biggest fanfiction site for My Little Pony in French. I started drawing, writing fanfiction, making OCs. So yeah, I'm a brony. So, what do you think? Bad. It's too long. And only French people of a certain age are even gonna get that reference. Bully! And howdy! It's me, Manny! I'm really sorry for that. Listen, that was a big French trend back in the day, and it was my dream to do a parody, okay? That was my moment. Leave me alone. But anyway, today is not about that. It's about Fluttershy, one of my 2 faves with Twilight Sparkle. Because I related to the 2 way too much, it was unreal. You don't understand. I'm not gonna elaborate. Because I don't need to. Look at me. Look at Fluttershy. Look at Twilight. Yes, absolutely. Too relatable. Stop it. If there's something you have to do about me, is that this Fluttershy redesign is not my first rodeo with Fluttershy redesign. And I don't even just mean the first redesign that I did on this channel a while back. I don't even know if I did voiceover at the time. I don't remember anything. Memory is a lie and I'm a joke. But I have a big history of trying to do redesign of My Little Pony. And clearly for Fluttershy, the only consistent thing was that I wanted a paw in the cutie mark, preferably with a butterfly, but that was it. Otherwise, Wild West. So we're gonna get into it. The first design was made on paper and without thinking about the colors. You can see it's the inception of the cutie mark and the idea of giving her a braid. The hair is long, but then again, Fluttershy's hair is long. I don't know if that really counts as something that was an idea. And it's not floofy like what I'm doing, so no bonus point for drawing Angel. That's always great. Now for the colors! Oh my god, the colors! In my opinion, it's kind of ugly. Like, no hate to past me, but that certainly is a choice. I don't think the bright spring green goes with like the OG pink very well, and that spring green with the very light blue tips of the rings is atrocious, and then the silver eyes is nice, but it's not very cohesive, okay? There was an attempt and it was bad. never got to a full drawing with this one. I only did one of Twilight with the good, because it was bad. That's all I have to say about it. Bad, bad, bad. Moving on. Attempt number 2 was drawn and colored, and it looks adorable, not gonna lie. She looks so sweet, so cute. I love the little bandage. Bonus point again for drawing Angel. Really nice. I like the color, but like it's cohesive unlike the other one. The colors are nice. It's just, I don't know about you, it does not give Fluttershy to me. I can't explain it. I don't know if it's the green, the silver. They're just something, you know? It could also be the main style, because like it's very, very short, unlike, well, Fluttershy's. It was kind of a concept of when Fluttershy is a young adult, her hair is short, but as she grows older, like season 9 finale kind of stuff. Before season 9 was a thing, by the way. I just knew it would be a thing, you know? I felt it in my soul. Now it was for next gen stuff. I'm lying. Her hair would grow out, which is an interesting idea, but I don't think it gives Fluttershy, so that might be why I redesigned it, you know? The 2.5 redesign is basically the 2.0 redesign, but with the length of mane of the 1.0 redesign. And the comeback of the flower crown, basically. The next gen older transformation was still there, but it was switched for this version. Instead of having short hair when she was young, and when she gets older having it becomes long, I allowed an animation, a cut my hair animation, and had it in the other way around. When she's young, she has her long hair that she can hide into. It kind of weighs her down, and as she gets older and there's that confidence shift, that's when she cuts her hair and she has that very cute, very sweet, youthful look, because she like is reborn as a more confident person, you know? She's more open, more like, you know? You see the vision. I hope that makes sense. It's nice. I like it better, but that I still was not satisfied with this design. Like I said, mainly because of the colors. And even with this like improved version, it still did not feel like Fluttershy to me. Not completely. It felt more, but not enough. So we zoomed into the next one. And then here we are! Blast of the Past is the one, the only, the first good one. The one that really gives Fluttershy and is really pretty. It's very nice. I really like this green. I think it fits better. I like the warmer yellow. I like that we kept the pink. I like it. It's very nice. There's really no problem with this design, I think. I just felt like I could improve it, you know? Like, as you can see, I added a new colored this very pretty periwinkle, and the story of that is that I wanted to do a split complementary because, well, palettes that have a split complementary usually give a very serene look, and for Fluttershy that's just exactly what you need, you know. And I had tried to add like a darker pink instead. I didn't like it. This periwinkle really fits. It does a split element where you have the yellow and then under it on either side the green and the periwinkle. Very nice, very cute, very color teary. You know how it is. And then the pink is a very cute accent color that serves also as her element color. Very nice, very sweet, very cute. I love it. And look at this improved cutie mark. I brought back the butterfly like I had in the older attempts, but I put a very, very beautiful butterfly, a green one with very pretty wings. And it's a specific kind of butterfly with a symbolic meaning. You are not prepared for this. It's the Manny put a lot of symbolic meaning into a detail that literally nobody will ever notice except that moment. Let's go! So this is a green hair streak butterfly, and reading from my notes is tied to like growth and nature in its symbolism, which, you know, Fluttershy, she like transformed into a more confident version of herself because of her love for the animals, nature, cute vibes. So you have the paw to like help convey that it's animals, but also the butterfly for the symbolism, and because it's specifically butterflies that brought her to the animals. Very cute, very nice. I love it. I also, as you can see, brought back the braids, cause nice little addition, and made her hair even fluffier. It's giving swamp, and I love it. I brought back the braids for a very specific reason. In my previous redesign, the 3.0 version, I had also designed what she would look like when she was older, you know? The season 9 finale design, you know? And I had settled on not having her have short hair, but instead having her hair braided. It gives a different vibe than the short hair, but it's the same idea. Before she hid behind her voluminous floofy hair, but now she braids it and it looks all nice and cute and it's still long and beautiful, but now she's more open. You know, it's the same thing but different. And I thought that already having the little braids in her like young adult version would really like, it would tie them together, it would be nice, it would foreshadow it a little, it would be neat, you know? Good vibes. I did not draw that older version this time because I was in my trying to do lots of videos for my comeback era, but I know I'm gonna do a cute little drawing of MLP with her, and since she is older when MLP is in the picture, it's gonna be, that design is gonna be really cool, really nice. You know how it is. Cute beans, cute stuff. Now that I'm done talking about the redesign and all the previous attempts, I want to talk about my Fluttershy headcanons! Yay! Cause I do have a whole family backstory, and I wrote it for my unveil. I already had it cooking in my mind, but I never wrote it down and I've never really talked about it. So, since we have time, let's talk about my family headcanons. So, the TLDR is that she has a Pegasus dad from Cloudsdale, who's a male wife, and a Pegasus mom from Las Pegasus, who's a girl boss, and who previously lived in Las Pegasus, but now both live in Cloudsdale. But his little brother still lives alone in Las Pegasus from back in the day. There's also a Pegasus aunt who's the mom's twin, and a Nerf pony uncle who lives in Las Pegasus. The aunt and mom were famous when they were young. Fluttershy lives in Ponyvale, and Emoshy, her cousin, lives with her now. And now, the little thing I wrote about the whole backstory stuff for the family. Back in the day, her dad, Cloud Petal, was a hippie Pegasus, spending all his time out of the weather factory, protesting social bigotry with his friends or going to concerts. Despite mostly staying in Cloudsdale to encourage local music, their little crew would rarely also go all the way to Las Pegasus to listen to famous band that aligned with the hippie movement. And one day, he had a special encounter. The openers were Satin, Fog, and Glitter Kiss, twin Pegasi born in Las Pegasus, both rookie singers, but already acting like full-blown disco divas. The two were completely opposite of what the group liked, so there really should have been no spark. And yet, Cloud was particularly captivated by the way Satin in particular looked so free for the duration of their song, before getting back to her controlled presence as the two left the stage. He couldn't help but go shoot his shot, smitten on the spot, and Satin found his awkwardness charming enough to agree to a date. The two turned out to have a lot in common, and thus started dating, and soon enough the couple discovered that Satin already was expecting. They didn't marry immediately, however, Cloud thinking it didn't mean much, and Satin still wanting to focus on her growing career, simply being content with living together in Las Pegasus. The couple had a fair amount of money thanks to the sister having made it big, but Satin and him still lived a simpler lifestyle than her sister, both due to Cloud's views that had also become hers too at this point, as well as having their little filly to take care of. They pampered Fluttershy a lot, giving her everything she needed to thrive as a foal, but their hippie values stopped her from being spoiled. When she was 5, Satin became pregnant again, and that's when the couple finally felt like getting married. Fluttershy was the flower filly, which she shyly requested, and it was already decided that they would name the baby after the gentle zephyr breeze that graced the wedding. As the years went by, the twins' popularity dwindled as disco wasn't as well liked anymore. And around when Fluttershy became an adult was when the two had to finally retire. Still, both had enough money to live comfortable lives. Satin with her little family, and Glitter with her newly met Earth Pony Cold friend. Both to live closer to Fluttershy, who had already moved to Ponyvale, and simply to live a cozier life, her parents moved back to Cloud's old home in Cloudsdale, leaving Zephyr alone in Las Pegasus to finish his very long and very slow. Hairstylist studies. Guess he still ended up spoiled despite sharing his family's hippie values. Huh. 11 years after season 1, each season being a year, Fluttershy suddenly moved in at the age of 8, and Fluttershy became her legal guardian, the reason of which is only known to the two, as well as Zephyr later on. And despite her and the rest of the system being scared/wary of Fluttershy at first, she eventually became a sort of mother figure for the Pegasus, as well as a few other alters. So, what do you think? Isn't it neat? I know. It's pretty different from the canon parents, but then again, they were brought to the series quite late, so I had ample time to have other ideas and assumption in my mind, and this is the result. I would imagine that instead of both parents being pushovers when Zephyr comes in his episode, it would instead be that the mom immediately calls him out like Fluttershy does, but each and every time the dad is like, oh, you can't, don't be so hard on him, you know. Need space, he's grown now, he has a creative vision, he has his own values, we can't force him to act exactly like how we want, he's his own person. And each and every time she goes, oh, you're right, you're so sweet, honey, I love how, like, you're so in tune with emotions, like how you are open to other people and how they are and accept them as is. That's a quality of you I think is incredible. They get busy being in love, and Zephyr gets to have zero accountability for having very bad coping skills. Until Fluttershy finally sees how it is and does something about it, because she's a queen, she's incredible, and I love her! City vibes. So yeah, that's the family headcanon. Now for miscellaneous headcanons. I see her as 23 in season 1, and so in Inside Shadows, my next Jenny Yu, she is 44, that's how it is. I see her as a Pisces. I headcanon her birthday as the 12th of March, don't ask me question, I will not elaborate. I headcanon her as Arrow Ace. I know it's not like something people like immediately think of, but that's just my headcanon. I don't have to elaborate, I just think she's Arrow Ace. I also headcanon that on top of having social anxiety disorder, she also has autism. And I headcanon that Fluttershy is specifically 6 years older than Zephyr. Like you could have guessed if you did the math when I said how old she was when the mom was expecting Zephyr. And that's it for my headcanons. I'm gonna finish off by reading the quick unveil description I did for how I see her from the backstory I made for the family and stuff. Despite coming from a relatively wealthy family, she was always a gentle soul due to her parents' hippie values being passed down to her. Values that were only accentuated due to bullying and finding comfort in her animal friends. So yeah, that was my Fluttershy redesign. I hope you liked it, and I'll see you in the next video, guys! Take care. Bye!